that? Mad Knox Music.
We are the build for this network, for the strong, not the weak. And this is our weekly lineup. On Mondays, the number one chief rapper, Jersey Burn, brings you that recap entertainment show. On Tuesdays, the attack is on hip hop throwback with the crown holder, DJ Mad Knox. Followed by the end of the big show with Chi-Town's finest, HRap B. On Wednesdays, the brothers gonna work it out. I'm talking about the brothers of the number one chief rapper, Jersey Burn, and HRap B. On Thursdays, the theory of the culture show. Straight talk, no chaser, with Chiz Roundtree and DJ Mad Knox. Followed by the two-step king, Jersey's finest, DJ Dean, opens up his groove house. And on Fridays, the crown holder, DJ Mad Knox, get your weekends right with the bill for this Friday mix. We are Built for this network, for the strong, not the weak. You understand what it is?
Greetings, brothers and sisters, family and friends. I am the Minister of Wellness, Nathaniel Jordan, just continuing to hash down on the wicked, satanic, demonic pharmaceutical industry. There's an example here of what I'm talking about, how these people control the world. This guy gets 66 months in prison for bribing doctors to overprescribe deadly habit-forming opioids. So we're talking about murderers, pretty much. They're inducing murder and thousands of deaths, and all he gets is 66 months in prison. This is one of the worst epidemics in the history of America, and it wasn't caused by small-time drug dealers. How many people during the so-called the fake war on drugs were thrown into prison for life? And now here we have licensed physicians and primary care providers being reduced to nothing more but legal drug dealers. Opioids have killed as many or more people in the 2000s as crack and heroin did in the 70s and 80s. And in fact, the epidemic of death continues to this day. It looks like there is finally being some progress made to combat it. As the National Sentinel reported this month, after 30 years of escalating deaths from opioid overdoses, the numbers are finally falling for the first time. In all, total drug overdoses from opioids have declined about 5% from a year ago, the first such decline since 1990. But there's much more to be done, of course, and that includes holding those who created this nightmare possible. But there's no justice in our justice system. I'm a living witness to that because I was a part of it for 7 years. They are not up to the task. Millions of Americans who lived through the financial crisis probably recall that not a single executive of a major investment bank was jailed in the aftermath, despite running organizations seemingly dedicated to perpetuating a criminal fraud on nearly every counterparty and client. But when Americans look back at the opioid crisis, they'll remember that at least one executive of a major opioid manufacturer and distributor was sentenced to a fairly weighty sentence. 5.5 years. That's 66 months in federal prison for an illegal kickback scheme that effectively involved bribing doctors to prescribe potentially lethal doses of fentanyl. That's an opioid. The company Insys, packaged under the brand name Subsys, sold a painkiller that was made from the same super powerful synthetic opioid that has been responsible for tens of thousands of deaths across the United States. 5 years in prison for Insys founder John Kapoor. He'll be out in 3. if the Most High so wills he lives that long. That's not enough for a man who is probably responsible for a hefty share of these overdiagnosis deaths. This is murder, nothing less. According to reports, Kapoor was sentenced last week after being prosecuted in the U.S. under the RICO Act, a racketeering law passed decades ago to give the Justice Department more legal authority to prosecute the mafia. Kapoor will join 7 other executives who've already received prison time for their role in the company's illegal activities, spreading deadly synthetic opioids to unsuspecting doctors and their patients. Included in their scheme were ruthless sale tactics aimed at getting doctors to prescribe more and more of their poison. That said, I'm not saying that the doctors are saints. Oh, I'm innocent. No, many took money in the form of kickbacks for overprescribing medications that were killing people. And they, too, are now being prosecuted for their roles. Good. And some have already been sentenced to jail. As a matter of fact, recently, Alec Burlakoff, the company's former sales manager and one of the government's key cooperating witnesses, he accepted a plea deal of 26 months in prison. Remember, this is for killing people. And while many of these sentences are light by our standards, well, at least they are being prosecuted. That's better than what's been going on in the past. Under the company's kickback scheme, doctors who prescribe large quantities of the drug could earn up to $125,000 a year in speaking fees, the website reported. Look at that. You become a legal drug dealer. And many of you have been trying to advocate for me to come speak to your cities, and you have no success. And trust me, I'm not charging no $125,000 to speak about health. In order to profit off of death, the company relied on what Kapoor called PhD sales associates, people who were poor, hungry, and desperate, or alternatively, poor, hungry, and dumb. According to documents prosecutors discovered in the course of their investigation, Kapoor methodically tracked profits. Spreadsheets calculating ROI, which is return on investment, noted that he wanted $2 in sales for every $1 a doctor received. Meanwhile, the families of those who lost their loved ones to his dangerous drugs are probably not happy with his sentence either, but we have to take responsibility for ourselves because we wouldn't be in all this pain if we weren't food addicts, if we weren't destroying ourselves, if we weren't pouring waste, manure, mucus into our bodies with the satanic American diet, we wouldn't be in all this pain. If you want to live a pain-free life, eat the medicine foods of the Most High and vigorously exercise to build your muscle and build your bones, and you won't need any of these drugs. We are allowing them to do this to us because we are addicted to our own genocide. It's high time, brothers and sisters, high time for a health revolution, because if we don't take care of ourselves, if we don't trust in the Most High for the healing of our bodies, this is what's waiting for us. This is the end result of the last component of food addiction. Big Pharma licking their chops, waiting for you with these dangerous, toxic drugs. They're waiting for us. And I say, for all of you all listening, for us, they're going to be waiting for a long time. What say ye? Remember, for those of you all in the DMV area, I'll be at Life Ticket Church March the 1st. For those of you who would like to hear the biblical health sermon, I'll be delivering it Sunday, March 1st at Life Ticket Church, Herndon, Virginia. All the details are in the description box and pinned comment section. If you're in North Carolina, I'll be in Shelby County. If you're in North Carolina for a health fair, I'll be keynoting that March the 7th. That's the following weekend. Then I have some other events coming up. Don't want to spend too much time going over all of that. Just look in the description box and pinned comment section, brothers and sisters, to keep up with where I'll be next. And I cannot wait to meet you all. And I know many of you all are actively trying to get me to your city. Share my website, my information with leaders of organizations in your city. It has to be the leaders. If it's the church, it has to be the senior pastor. If it's an organization, NAACP, whoever, the president or executive director or the events coordinator, whoever is in charge of putting together the events and bringing in speakers, that's who you'll need to share my information with. I cannot just pick up and come to your area on my own accord. I need to be connected with those in your city that could sponsor me to come in. Thank you for your support. My online store, theministerofwellness.com. I have books, DVDs, and supplements covering almost all of the major diseases that are afflicting our society. Go and take a look and get what you need for yourself or someone else. theministerofwellness.com, theministerofwellness.com. If you ever need help with placing an order, call us at 888-847-8026, 888-847-8026. Outside of my online store, I have several other ways that you can send a donation to help me on this crusade for excellent health. My Cash App is the easiest way. That's $ Minister of Wellness. However, there are many other ways, including mail, listed in the description box and pinned comment section of this video. The Most High will richly bless you for your generosity. Be sure to follow me on Facebook for free recipes Monday through Friday, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. You can find me on all social media at the Minister of Wellness. Please share this video at least 3 times. I look forward to seeing you all soon. And until I meet and greet you and empower you in person, I hope and pray you live a long life in excellent health. It can and it will be yours.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. This your man, HRap B. I'm coming at you as usual, live and direct this Tuesday. Every 168 hours. It's the End of the Bench Podcast. Thank you for joining. Thank you if you're in the chat room. I really respect and thank you, and it is truly appreciated. Please continue to subscribe to build for this network and share. If you're listening currently, that means you got a link from me. There's a button that says like. There's a button that has a Facebook emblem, and there's a button that has a Twitter emblem. Please share. Please share. Thank you in advance. And again, I am HRap B. This is the End of the Bench Podcast. We are built for this network, and I want to thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I know it sounds redundant, but I really appreciate you taking time out your day to listen to what I have to say. Now, as usual, I go through the same routine every week. I was taught that you have to show respect to your ancestors anytime you're speaking publicly. So, therefore, I want to thank the people in my family who got me to this point. They are the people in the Pollard family, the Turner family, the Battle family, the Cotton family, the Harper family, the Beatty family, the Lansdowne family, the Liggins family, the Duncan family, and anybody who knows me and my pop. We make up Williams clan. We in the together. This is a cultural podcast in which I give you my opinion on various issues. If you want to join the fun, the number 773-797-2409. It is in the chat room, 773-797-2409. I am putting a different spin on the show this week. I have a special guest this week. I have a segment called Rappin with HRap each week. What I will do going forward is give a person an opportunity to share what they're doing, advance their cause.